This podcast is brought to you by Most Valuable Podcasts, saving your day from boredom with the best podcasting entertainment.
Hello and welcome to episode 18. Felt like an asterisk on that one because we're really just giving you a live update of BlizzCon and some of the shit that has gone down. I'm your fear-filled host, Dave Oster. I'm joined today by not Mark Weber. Won't be dubbing them ease, but I am joined by the original man-child himself, Ricky Widmer.
What's up, guys?
And this is Too Old to Game. We're going to talk about gaming. Obviously, BlizzCon's the biggest thing. It's going on as we speak right now. But there was just enough news that came out this weekend that I'm like, you know what? Let's get it out. The people want to hear what's going on at BlizzCon.
People got to know.
And if you are joining us, you would have just you might check out on the channel. There's also an Overwatch video that I jumped on the Rick and Johnny show for. So we're going to be talking about Ash on that one. I think timing-wise, that's going up either right before or right after this.
It's going to be the day after this that will come out.
Okay, so if you want your Overwatch news, it'll be tomorrow. But today we're going to get back to the core of Blizzard and how they are fucking the community. Way to read the room, Blizzard. Because guess what? Our big announcement.
This is where you got the meme of Travolta from Pulp Fiction, where he's like,
yep,
just looking around, like,
yeah. So here's what happened at the basically opening ceremony was the big announcement for Diablo. We were all getting hyped. You know, the expectations are: are we getting a Diablo 4? Are we getting a remaster of 2? Are we getting another expansion for 3? Like, what are they gonna do? This is gonna be great. Mobile game.
Mark's ears just popped up right now. Like,
Diablo Immortal. So let's just say that announcement didn't exactly get the crowd going.
It didn't get the juices flowing.
It was met with silence and awkward silence, and that was probably the worst, or the worst in my memory of reaction to a new game coming out.
But that wasn't even the worst moment.
Oh, I know. I will get there, Ricky. I'm just trying to set the table.
Yeah, set the tone.
So he announces it, and this poor son of a bitch is up there, and he's just he announces the game's trying to get the crowd going.
Poor son of a bitch.
And there's nothing. There's no, like, the room is dead. We're like, this is not what we were promised.
Yeah.
You're a mobile game.
This is not what we wanted.
This is Blizzard. This is BlizzCon, and we want to play a PC game. This is Diablo. Let's do this right. It's one of the oldest franchises. Come on. Like, this is just, it's a slap in the face. So convention goes on, and then we get to the QA section of this opening ceremony, at which point someone goes, is this an out-of-season April Fool's joke? Crowd cheering for him. I mean, like, he got a bigger pop than anything else that day. And they're like, nope. Diablo Immortal is definitely real, and, you know, you all got phones, so, you know.
No, but that wasn't the worst one. There was another guy who's like, so is this, like, is there going to be a PC version for this? And he's like, no, this is going to be mobile. The worst is another guy on stage popped in and was like, you guys have phones, right? It's like, yeah, let's harass the crowd. Let's make this a very
tell us what we want, right?
Confrontational kind of thing.
Right,
like,
Blizzard, you're going to tell us what we want?
Like, you guys don't have phones? Like, you can also play it on your tablet or your Nintendo Switch. It's like, oh my God, not the right thing for people who are your customers. And they always say, the customer is always right.
Well, Blizzard's going to tell us
your game.
Blizzard's basically telling us, we know what you want. You don't want what you think you want. You want what we tell you want.
They're that parent that's like, no, you don't want that.
Exactly. It is. Holy shit, did they miss? Like, that was just an awful opportunity that they missed there, because they could have really set the tone for some cool shit coming out, and instead, the whole opening basically was people are just pissed about you dropping the ball with Diablo. And, like, that's a community that has been, like, there through the thick and thin. Like, look, the people who play Diablo, they're there to grind dungeons for percentage upgrades. I'm talking like that 0.0001% upgrade. Like, that's their jam. It's nothing but grinds, season in, season out. Like, there are some hardcore dedicated fans, and to come back and go for what looks like a money grab with a mobile game that looks like a reskin of another game anyway, it does not send the right message to the community. It is pissed off everyone. Ricky, what is your take? I know you're not huge on Diablo. I will convince you eventually to play Diablo, but this doesn't help my case.
No, it does. Like, the only thing that this will help your case is when I heard Switch, I was like, all right, I might need a game for the Switch I ordered. I might play it.
Oh, like, you pulled the trigger on that one?
That's it. Like, yeah, and it's like, I might all right, I might get it for the Switch, but it's like, this is the thing, like, especially with Diablo, like, how, if you're going to have a mobile game, have something else too. Like, if they came out Diablo 4, oh, and by the way, we also have this mobile game, then it's like, okay, but it's like, you can't, I just love how the fans were basically savages and ruthless of like, we're going to come at you and be like, like you said, is this an April Fool's joke? Like, we're getting punked here? It's like James Franco on Knocked Up. If this is one of those prank shows, I'm not happy with this. I'm not okay with it. I'm not okay with this. And it's like, this is, you said perfectly, drop the ball. Like, I don't know many people that would have been okay with a Diablo mobile game. Because, yeah, there are people like Mark Webber who play balls all the time.
Yeah.
And love their mobile games. But
they're the minority.
I'll be honest, if Warcraft said, hey, we're going to come out with a mobile game, I'm like, okay, that's cool. I ain't going to play it.
Like, let's be fair. Mobile games are still basically just out there for, like, time killers
and microtransactions.
Like, it's a time killer game. It's while you're in transit to work or something, while you're waiting for something.
Yeah.
Like, it's not an actual, like, let me sit down and get my game on my cell phone. Like, that's just not, it's not what it is.
Because most mobile games, they have that little gimmick of, like, all right, you got 5 of these. You can do you wasted all of them? Well, you got to wait a half hour to just get one. You got to wait this many to get those recharges back so you can continue playing because then they want you to, they want you to buy.
Get it now.
So I see this and I go, it's not like, all right, you should have had this game ready to go, but the plan should have been, hey, let's have something better than this. Right. Because, like you said, and it'll be interesting to see what shockwaves this makes, how is this going to affect the community? Are they going to waver when you do come out with that Diablo 4? No. But
the answer is no. We'll eat it. We'll eat that shit up.
But is this going to have any ramifications from the community that obviously you have upset? You've upset to levels I have not seen. Like, usually communities would be like, all right, we're not going to say anything, but we won't ask questions. And then during the Q&A, actually, like, coming at the presenters. It's like, you've pissed them off that far.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And I think the shittiest part is that, like, Blizzard's actively trying to censor people by, like, they've reposted the video because it had the dislike to like ratio was hilarious.
You're talking the cinematic trailer one?
Yeah, it went up to, I think it was like 257,000 dislikes or something ridiculous. And then it was like, and delist and relist and we're fresh again. I'm like, oh, really, Blizzard? You're trying to hide from the fucking criticism now? Yeah. Same on the like actual Reddit threads. It looks like some of the stuff's being modded. Like there's a lot of crowd control they're trying to put out there right now to save face, and that's shitty. Because 4 hours ago, there's an article from Rock Paper Shotgun. It says Blizzard repeats that they're working on multiple unannounced Diablo projects. So that's like a saver. It's like, hey, we didn't get to what you wanted right now, but there's stuff behind this curtain. It's all cool Diablo shit. You totally want to.
They should have had something planned then. Like, all right, we're going to give you this mobile game, but here I will have, even if it's like what they did for World of Warcraft and have the cinematics, like the Warbringer cinematics, and be like, hey, let's have something so that we can get this hype going. They're going to be upset that it's just a mobile game, but we're going to have this over here to show them that, hey, we're working on it. Not just saying, hey, it's behind this curtain. I know you can't see it yet, but it's going to be good. Yep. It's going to be good. You got to actually show them something.
Yeah, it's a little ridiculous that we're at that point. But frustration's out. That is the Diablo news of the day, and I had to get my rant out.
I hate that that's the only... Like, I know I'm not huge in the Diablo. You're trying to get me into it, but...
This doesn't help.
It doesn't help, and it's disappointing that it's like, well, there's your Diablo news.
It's just... It clearly is a sign that they don't know what people want, or their priorities are different than ours. Like, their priority is to make money, microtransactions, and maybe they're going after, like, the Asian market, and that's their vision as a business. Fine, I understand that, but like,
you're talking just the Diablo sector of it.
Just be honest with us, like Blizzard in general. Like, be like, okay, if that's what your thing is, you're trying to make space in the mobile gaming and trying to make some money in this specific market. Sure, don't tell us that that's what I want though. Don't lie to my face and lie. That's just gets me pissed. But there's other news, surprisingly enough, from BlizzCon. It's more than just a Diablo hate fest. So we got the great news about World of Warcraft Vanilla. and that is that the subscription for World of Warcraft will be tied to vanilla access as well.
Nice.
So it's not separate pay. Like, a lot of people were like, if I literally had to pay 1 cent separately for that, I wouldn't do it. But since I get it with WoW already, I'm probably gonna screw around on that.
So that subscription that I just ended might be coming back.
Well, you got about 8 months, 6 months, somewhere in the summer of 2019.
It's coming back now, but
yeah. So some of the interesting things that kind of came out of that, the phrase sharding was one of them. That's basically where we're going to have, if you and I both log into the beta right now for vanilla, we both zone into, like, I think it's Westfall. You and I might not be able to see each other because they split that up because it would be a high density zone because of the amount of logins. So, like, okay, it's like phasing kind of. So
like what they did with the realm.
It splits you out to a different realm, and there's a lot of concern when that was mentioned because it's like, well, that takes away from the community. Like, half the fun of WoW Vanilla was the fact that you knew everyone on your server. Like, that was the jam. It was it's a closed community, and the fact that they mentioned sharding really pissed off a lot of people. But thankfully, later on during one of their panels, they were able to explain that, look, this is a thing in beta. This is a thing we're doing because of the high density of logins, and we want to make sure that servers survive day one.
Yeah.
Look, it sounds like it's something that won't stay in place. It sounds like something that they're just doing as a measure to ensure people are able to play the game on day one. Yes, you might want to have it not exist at all, but let's be honest, WoW launchers have been historically not known for their server stability. Let's put it nicely. So I think it's something where, because they've just said it's limited time and it's limited zones, it's just a matter of once you get through there, you'll be fine. And on different servers, probably won't even notice it that much anyway. So that kind of eased the pain a little, because the initial reaction was, well, that's not vanilla. Yeah. Like, you can't take it's funny because, like, people are very protective of what they nostalgize like vanilla WoW as, and I think that kind of struck the community really hard. They was like, wait, so even if we're on the same server, like, I'm not gonna see my buddy? Like, what the fuck's up with that? Thankfully, not a problem.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing that I think of also, and this is kind of not necessarily a you have no right to get mad thing, but I'm gonna say it anyways.
Yeah.
The thing that should also dampen the worries is you're not paying extra for it. Your subscription gets it into your hands just like it would if, like, you don't have to pay anything extra, basically. And I mean, the thing that I look at with that is, okay, well, since I'm not paying anything extra for it, you don't have to get worried of, like, what? I paid extra for this? This is not what I asked for. Where it's like, even if it ends up not being what you asked for, you can say, I'm not happy with it, and just not play it.
Right.
And it doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't cost you anything for it. So, I mean, for me, the whole thing with the sharding is, like they said, it's beta. What you often see in beta doesn't sometimes come out when the game releases. And let's make all of our for sure judgments after it releases in the summer.
Yeah.
Like, the betas are supposed to be, like, not, like, I'd rather have a sketchy gameplay in beta than when the game actually launches.
The problem is the beta is actually an old game that we've all, not all played, but that a lot of us have played. So it's not like other betas. You can't compare it to another beta. Like Fallout 76, we talked about how buggy it is right now and how that's really scaring off a lot of people about, the quality of gameplay. Meanwhile, the WoW Vanilla beta is like, I played the game during vanilla. You played the game during vanilla. Like, we know what gameplay is like. So if it doesn't match that, I'm going to be pissed.
Yeah.
Like, and there's no reason it shouldn't match that, because it's the old servers. Like, all you had to do was remaster a couple things, tweak a little switches here and there. I know it's actually a lot more work involved in that, but
do you think they're going to change, like, when we get the final product, do you think they're going to change a lot with it?
It sounds like they're not. It sounds like they're trying to hold steady to the existing, what made WoW Vanilla fun or not fun for a lot of people, which is interesting, because I was listening to another YouTuber talk about, like, vanilla WoW wasn't fun for everybody, and it wasn't often very fun, and the gameplay is very different than today. It was very much an annoyance when you were open world PvPing, unless you were like the level 60 harasser.
Yeah.
You know, dying a lot, having to deal with, you know, the lack of health regeneration while leveling. So it'd be like, do a mob, wait 10 seconds, wait 15 seconds to get some health back, kill another mob. Oh, I pulled 2 extra mobs, I'm going to die, so I have to corpse run back.
Well, not
and
just
like
that.
all that shit. So like it's a slower pacing.
I felt like I was eating and drinking more.
That's what I'm saying, because there's no life regeneration. You have to wait in between mobs.
Yeah.
So
or like if you had like the actual food, hey, I'm going to click and eat it.
Yeah, but you're still waiting.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. God damn it, Ricky. It's exactly what I'm implying there.
Yeah.
You had to say the words food.
I mean, like, for me, maybe because I'm a paladin, like, playing WoW now, I never have any drink in my bags. Where in vanilla WoW, I could not leave to quest or anything unless I had drink in my bags because I needed mana in order to do anything I was going to do.
Super true. So I think it's going to be interesting, like, when that product, when WoW vanilla comes back and goes live, that people are going to be like, yeah, I remember the concept of the game. I don't remember how horribly slow and frustrating the gameplay was. On the other hand, epics and actual loot rewards are going to be very gratifying because right now they're just thrown at you left and right, whereas in vanilla, it was actually a rare occurrence to get anything above a rare. I think it's going to be fun. The big question obviously goes back to, like, well, what's endgame going to look like? But I think that'll be okay. I mean, the old concepts weren't very hard. They were very simple fights. It was just a matter of coordinating 40 people together. No, so
for me, that's what I am most interested. I am going to go back to WoW Vanilla to get to the end game, to raid, because that is what, like, even raiding now in BFA, it doesn't seem like it has the same strategy to it. Where, yeah, I know there's fights where it's like, okay, got to do this, got to do that, but it's like, we wiped in an instance once. It's like, all right, just don't do this. Boom, we fixed it. Where it's like, and I wonder if people are going to have that problem of, like you said, the difficulty of, there were sometimes, even BC, we would go into something, wipe. Oh shit, I don't think we're getting through this today.
Well, the thing is, in vanilla, there weren't a lot of hard concepts, to be honest. It was more about the sheer number of people having to coordinate.
And getting those dots up on Onyxia.
Yeah.
Just
always
more dots. More dots.
God, that song's in my head. So no, like, that's the funny thing is, like, the fights today are a million times harder, more complicated. There's more things you have to be aware of, more things you have to do. But back in the day, it was more about coordination, just getting by. Like, the average gameplay IQ of a player has grown over the last decade plus. So it'll be interesting, like, if people are going to be able to blow through those early raids or not, and, you know, how the gating's going to work out. But I think it'll be nice, like, you've got BFA raid, and then, like, as a tier ends in BFA, WoW Vanilla. And then after that, like, the Molten Core Onyxia, like, oh, we can have some time, BFA raid, then WoW Vanilla. It can, like, balance out your time.
Go back and forth.
Well, yeah, because, like, as far as releases, like, they can gate it so it times out nicely to work with the existing live product. So I think that's something that, like, it makes me fear for my spare time because, like, oh, man, I can drop a lot of hours, a lot of days, a lot of months into this game again. But it seems like they're trying to hold true. Like, that, the WoW Vanilla team is at least, I have my faith in them. I still have trust in them. Like, that's, I talk about Diablo betrayed me. Like, that's a group where their goals did not match up to my goals. My expectations,
how far
do
you think we are away from a Diablo 4? Or the new Diablo game?
I think that I would be cool if they added in another class to Diablo 3 still. I think that's not as likely as just moving forward with Diablo 4, because we're, 6 years into Diablo at this point? Diablo 3? I think probably 2 more years. I think 2020 we'll have Diablo 4. And that's probably about right. But I wish we would get, like, Druid dropped into Diablo 3 as the final expansion. But it seems like all of Diablo 3 expansion shit got scrapped after we added the Necro. So, I don't know. That makes me sad. But WoW Vanilla, shining beacon of hope coming out of this. Also announced was Warcraft 3 Reforged.
Dude, cannot wait.
Really? Like, you tell me about this, because I'll full honesty. I didn't play Warcraft 3 a ton.
Yeah.
I did not get into it until the end, when it was very much the mods for it, to be 100% honest with you, and playing a little bit of Dota. So you tell me about Warcraft 3.
The thing that to me, love the old Warcraft games. And, like, I'll be completely honest, Warcraft 3 wasn't my favorite. Warcraft 2 will always have my heart in that sense.
Yeah.
Because Warcraft 3 kind of went back to, or introduced the kind of 3D models.
It did, yeah.
And at the time, I was like, I was fine with my 2D with Warcraft 2. But, like, I know people are going to say, but Ricky, you've got StarCraft that you can do.
Mm-hmm.
I have been itching because it kind of seemed like once World of Warcraft came out,
yeah,
you didn't need a like strategy-based Warcraft game anymore. Or build your base, get this, fight this guy. And it's interesting to see all these, like, the mobs are going to look a lot better.
Yeah, they are.
So it looks like it's almost going to be World of Warcraft kind of graphics for it. And it's just, I miss that kind of strategy base of the Warcraft world and the stories that they were going to be able to tell. And I see that they're remastering the old game, but they're also giving us like 4 new cinematics. And they're giving us some new things as well.
Yeah.
On top of what I remember from the regular game and the expansion for Warcraft 3.
No, I mean, I think you're right. Visually, it is going to be impressive again.
Mm-hmm.
But as a RTS game, I'm not huge in them anymore. Like, I go through my ebbs and flows of like what game style I like to play.
Mm-hmm.
So, as far as my hype level for it, like, it's probably at like a 5 right now. I think it could. Like, it's gonna be fun. I know the original game was good.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't play through it all the way, but that was just my choice and where I was at in life. This one, I might do the story mode. Like, I enjoyed it. Like, I enjoy reading about the lore of Warcraft. Mm-hmm. So I can see this game appealing to me a lot because going back and reliving through some of that stuff, like you said, the
and with
new
the
cinematic,
expansion, it's all about the Lich King.
Yeah,
it's all about Arthas becoming the Lich King,
which should have been the fucking Warcraft movie in the first place.
Exactly, and I mean, the thing I love most about the RTS games is basically the missions were. World of Warcraft, be honest, could care less about the lore when I played it. Was like quest, player. Like, I'm interacting with you. I don't care about this lore.
Yep.
Warcraft, maybe it was because it was single player and it was all me.
Mm-hmm.
It was all about, like, watching the cinematic before the level. Like, especially Warcraft 2. If they remastered Warcraft 2, oh my God, that would be my dream. But just, like, the cinematics and like I know in Warcraft 2 they had like before the Horde mission, like just seeing the nice room that they have designed and it had like the knife in the paper.
Oh yeah.
And the paper had your objectives on it. And it was like, okay, hit that start button. I'm going
Let's
on
get into
in.
it. Yeah.
And they had like, eventually they would go on into, hey, this is your main objective, but hey, if you ventured off over here on the map, you might have discovered something else where it's like, ooh, this is a bonus one. Hey, let's bring them back to our base.
Yeah.
And now it's a bonus objective that I now have for this map. So it's not something where it's like, hey, I'm going to dive in head first, but remastered, nostalgia is going to get at that. And it also could be while I'm in between games, maybe the ebb and flow of in and out of stuff. Mm-hmm. Maybe I come back to it, play it for a little bit, then ebb out into something else.
Exactly, yeah. I think it's a game that, like, it doesn't necessarily mean I'm just going to tunnel in and play it for like 20 hours and be done with the game, but it's a nice alternative to change of pace. Like, the last RTS game I played was They Are Billions, which, all credit due, awesome game. If you guys have Steam, it's like $25, pick it up. It is a ton of fun if you love RTS games. It's like a survival mode thing. You're a very small base, and you have to explore the map and build out and prepare, because at the end of the map, literally, it's like They Are Billions, and they fucking zombies flood the map and try to get to your base. So like that's a fun game, and I'd love to do a separate thing on that. But like as far as RTSs go, like I'd love to get my hands back on this. Just storytelling, old nostalgia. Like it's bad and good. Blizzard's going back and going, we need money, so we're gonna go hit them up where it hurts. Nostalgia. We're going to get them Vanilla WoW. We're going to get them Warcraft 3 Remaster. We just polished up StarCraft 2 again. It was so OG StarCraft, all this stuff coming back. And now this weekend, if you're interested, you can, in the Battle.net launcher, if you click on Destiny 2.
It's free.
it's free. You just have to claim it. All you have to do is to click claim, and you get a free copy of Destiny 2, the original game, no expansions, in hopes that you will pay for, obviously those expansions, those missions, which, as someone who played Destiny 2 on PS4, it was an okay game.
I probably, that's the one thing where I'm like, I'm not excited for that at all. I mean, I guess it's free, but
it's free. If you want to play another shooter, feel good about yourself, that's fine. I mean, I personally just recommend you go right over to Borderlands 2 instead, but that's just me. Borderlands 2, superior shooter.
Gotta love that Borderlands.
Superior shooter. Funner game. Way better storytelling.
No, like Destiny 2, the thing is, it's like, I get what you're trying to do. Ain't for me. Like, they burned me so many times.
Yeah.
I remember I wasn't going to buy Best Destiny 2, but Dave talked me into it.
Sean talked me into it.
I know Sean talked you into it.
Not our Sean, other Sean.
Then you talked me into it.
Yep.
And then I got to the end and was like, this is exactly what I remember from the first one.
But it was fun getting there.
It was fun getting there, but then it's like I got to raids and it's like...
It was way too quick.
I can't find anyone to do raids with because Dave's not playing anymore because Dave does the classic
Dave burned himself out.
He goes in and then burns out and then I'm left all by myself.
Yep. That's what Dave does. That's what I do best.
Dave just walks away.
I'm really good at that part. But yeah, that's our quick update on BlizzCon really right now. Like so far, mixed reactions out of BlizzCon. Obviously, for the Overwatch news, hit up Rick and Johnny. We talked about the new character, Ash, on there. Looks dope, and I'm a huge fan. So as long as I keep doing that, like, I'm just getting a little concerned.
Overwatch, I think, is the...
Overwatch is their hot product right now.
They are doing everything right with Overwatch.
Do you think Blizzard is going to have a new title, or do you think that they're going to just keep building on their existing IPs in Warcraft, StarCraft, World of Warcraft, Heroes of the Storm, which is really, I feel like Heroes of the Storm is literally just like, let's grab every cool character from all our other franchises.
It's an all-star game.
It is. And but it's still a good game.
Yeah.
It's a fun MOBA. Hearthstone, like, do you see them expanding their catalog yet again? Or do you think that they are going to just continue building on top of that lore, that history that they've got now? Because I feel like all these nostalgia grabs are them building up capital to do something new. And that's what I like to believe. I like to believe there's something new coming out there for me.
I'm going to look really quickly. I got to look at Blizzard's wiki.
Sure.
I want to see... is this going to give me a nice chart of everything? No.
Release dates and stuff?
Because the last one to come out was Overwatch. And you had Overwatch being, 2016?
Yeah.
That one came out, so it's been 2 years since that. I was looking to see when the last one came out. So let's see. You've got Diablo that has been around. Its first release was 96.
Yeah.
Hearthstone was 2014. I'm just quickly right now on the podcast. Let's see. Heroes of the Storm was after Hearthstone. Overwatch was after that. StarCraft was after Diablo. Warcraft was before Diablo. So you had Warcraft first released, and this is just Orcs and Humans, was 1994. Then they had the new Diablo, 1996. StarCraft, 1998, so they're kind of doing a 2-year thing. Then because you had World of Warcraft, you went ahead and kind of mapped off there. They kind of brought Warcraft into World of Warcraft. Hearthstone then was 2014. Heroes was 2015. Overwatch was 2016. Maybe they're just waiting for... I know that most people are going to go, oh, but Ricky, PC. What if they're for like an Overwatch type thing? What if they're like, okay, we're going to wait for next gen. We're going to wait for next gen on the consoles because, yes, that doesn't matter with PC.
That's not their jam.
But we're just going to drop it all together because the last thing we have seen with Overwatch was kind of their first thing of, hey, it's not just on the computer. It's on the PlayStation, the Xbox, and this as well.
Yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting one to me, but I don't think they're going to do much with it. That pretty much wraps it up, though. I mean, that's all my thoughts on that. You get to see me for the last 5 seconds to say thank you for listening. If you want to drop in, what do you guys think about BlizzCon? Any news, any updates on that shit?
By the way,
feel free to.
I saw on my floor today, in my basement.
Yep.
Battleborn. I looked at it, and you know what I thought? Waste of money.
Yeah, totally.
And then I thought, I'm like, I wonder what else has been like. If anyone else has something that they look at and just go, wow, that was a big old waste of money. Wish I would have never bought that game.
It was an interesting concept that just did not pay off.
It came out like, what, a week before Overwatch? And then Overwatch killed it?
Yeah. Yeah, it did. It killed it real good. But yeah, let us know if you got anything like that or your thoughts and feedback about BlizzCon. Thanks so much for listening. And if you want to check us out on Patreon and hit that $10 tier, you can be on Too Old to Game or any other maybe show. But, you know, Too Old to Game is real, where we hold it down.
You be our first, too.
You be our first. You break that. You do that for us. Thanks so much for listening, so much for watching. We'll catch you next week.